Well, good morning, everyone, or afternoon, whatever. Today is Sunday, the 28th of July, and just an update on what we're getting accomplished with the new home build here. You can see from the ceiling in the dining room area that the insulation is complete. The vents are all complete up there. Electrical lines for the can lighting up there look like they're all in. Coming back into here, the great room is all finished. Insulation wise, kitchen, same thing. I know they were trying to get this done so that we're hoping to get the final electrical inspection over the next, sometime this week, I believe, coming up, because they want to get the walls insulated. Drywall, they're hoping to start week after next. It's all finished back here. Everything looks good. Back into the master bedroom. I think last week that was finished, if I'm not mistaken. The laundry room looks like it's all finished. That's good news. You can see maybe by the pictures, I'll move it down here a little bit. Windows are in. At least most of the windows are in. The good news is they thought they'd be done this past week, but we have a massive window, as we may have mentioned in a previous video, in my office. That is it took 6 guys just to carry the thing. And I don't know if they needed some additional equipment to put that in. We're not really sure. They were hoping to get that in this week, but that is not in. That's the only window that's not in. We'll talk about that when we get over there. You can see back here the sliders are in for the master bedroom, but the transoms are all in. The transom window for the master bath. Oh, the skylight is also missing. There's a skylight going up here that is not in yet, so we actually have that missing. Windows in for the toilet area in the master bath. The transom above the shower's in. Let me see. The windows are in for the closet, the master bedroom. You walk over here. Oh, we have a pretty lady over here.
Checking out my laundry room. So we came and met with the builder, what day was it? Thursday. And we have a bit of a snafu. I think I talked about it earlier in the videos. And we realized the fact that the dryer and washer are on the wrong side for what I wanted. I wanted the washing machine to be next to the sink. So we had already purchased a sink for this corner, a stainless steel sink. Got it at Costco. If Costco doesn't have it, we don't need it. Anyway, the sink was going to be too wide, and it was going to come into this area. Okay, so we're trying to figure out how we could cover this with the washing machine. So we did check the washing machine that we're going to be getting is tall enough so that we can have the washing machine on this side, so it's next to the sink with longer plumbing flexible pipes. And Bill happened to find that we could get the same sink, which I love, all one nice piece stainless steel, in a 30-inch rather than a 36-inch width. So then we had to call our cabinet designer and let him know that we don't need a 36-inch cabinet above, but we needed to change that to a 30-inch. And luckily, the cabinets we're doing in this room are different than those for the remainder of the house. And so that order has not gone in yet. We're so grateful for that. So now we're going to gain, we're going to gain about 6 inches on the other side for my easel and the art area over here. So yay, Bill. I mean, the builder and I were just sitting here scratching our heads thinking, what can we do? Can we move this? Oh my gosh, we would have had to have moved from way up. There's an elbow that you can't see. And it would have just been too much.
And that's a gas line too, which makes it
Oh,
a little
yeah,
bit more
that's right.
difficult to go moving.
Yep.
So.
Yep. You're right. Yeah. Gas line too. So anyway, thank you for taking care of that, Bill. I'm
Hey,
so happy.
You know what? I'm good for something at least. So I'm good for paying the bill and figuring out stupid stuff. Anyhow, one of the things that you'll see out here by the front door that we were shocked at when we got here was they got the transom above the door, which is great. The door itself is going to be a couple of weeks out because we actually just ordered that this past week. But they put the frame in, which it's good. I mean, I'm glad they got the frame in, I guess. I was shocked that the frame was even going to be in. I thought the whole door would go in at the same time. But I guess the more they get done now, the less they got to do later. The window that we're all excited about, and that I'm sure everybody's excited about except the guys that have to actually install it, is this window. It's the one you may have seen out front, the front door that's in the crate. So it's all packaged in wood, so don't break. This window is 5 foot by 12 foot. And it is a massive window. It took 6 guys to get it, I guess, out of the truck and set where it is. We don't know if they needed some special equipment to put that window in. We're not really sure if they just didn't have enough guys, but they were ready to put that in. That's still not in. So we don't exactly know. Our builder took Friday off, so we're not really sure what the plan is on that. My guess is it'll be in early this week. All the doors, the interior or the exterior doors rather, are in. The ones that go out to what will eventually be a veranda out around the front of the house. These are really nice. They're all aluminum, double clad, or they have an air break in the middle of them for insulation purposes, double pane glass. And I'm pretty excited about the look of these. The dark bronze is a beautiful look. All aluminum. There you can see here the window back in the guest, the guest closet. There's a closet back here, the entrance to the toilet area in this bath where the sink and everything is. That's going to be it's a nice window there. It just puts a lot of light back in here. So, let's take a look out here. You can see the back of the dining room. There's the door. What we designed in was there's a transom above it, and there's a solid window below it, obviously in the middle. Originally, they were calling for 2 doors here going out to Marsha's garden area, but we decided to have one solid window on the right, on your picture on the right, and then a door on the left. That way, we only need one door going out there. So anyhow, those are all in. Everything looking really good with those. They're beautiful windows. We're actually very excited to have those. Back here, there's a door at the end of this hallway, which gives us a little bit of light back in here, because even though this house is full of light, this house is, you can tell it's a fairly good size, and some areas do get a little darker. So it does brighten up the hallway back here a little bit. And then over here, whoops, still learning how to use this gimbal apparently. Same thing back in here, the windows are all in. So we are in good shape with windows. We've got a couple left to do. Go back here. And then the windows in the great room, all in. Whoops. Kitchen window, Marsha's favorite window, is in.
We're looking forward to when all the windows are in and they take the protective film off. That'll be exciting. And once everything kind of gets cleaned up, because when they finished up the electrical up in the ceiling, they've had to go through some of that insulation, and it's just everywhere. So we've got another cleanup this week, and that'll make things look a little neater in here. So I can't wait till they start laying drywall. That's when we'll really be able to see, and our friends and family will be able to see the rooms, and we'll point out those rooms. And so our friends and family will know where the guest room is and where they'll be laying their head. So I want to talk
a little bit about budgeting. I mentioned though in one of the previous videos that we were going to talk a little bit about budgeting. One of the things that we have learned, and maybe should have better anticipated. The whole COVID pandemic thing has, as many of you know, screwed up everything. I mean, as far as pricing goes, as far as contractors go, labor rates have gone the last few years through the roof. Material costs in some cases with copper, for instance, for the wiring has gone up dramatically. Lumber was up. Luckily, it came back down to a normal level by the time we actually started and bought the lumber for this house. But cement was up. I mentioned some of this before, but now that we're getting into actually paying for all this stuff, I wanted to talk a little bit about just the craziness with it all. We had estimates done in some cases a year and a half ago for some of this stuff. And because of delays with permitting, delays with materials in a few cases, delays with just getting started, prices have obviously gone up. So we had thought we were doing a smart thing by putting a 10% buffer into all of our estimates when we started this project. And it was one thing to think, okay, I got a decent buffer. We know there's going to be some things that are unexpected. You run into issues from here and there. Material costs do change. That was way underestimated. The reality of the situation is, by the time we're done with this house, we'll probably be at least 20%, maybe 25% over what we thought we were going to be spending a year and a half ago. It's hard to get into all the details of it, but when you start a project like this and you start with a blank piece of paper and say, okay, we're going to build this kind of house. This is where it sits. This is what it looks like. These are the size of the rooms. The materials that we picked are not high end by any stretch. They're medium grade, I'll call them. Quartzite is obviously a higher end material on the island. Quartz is those of you familiar with materials know quartz is not exactly a cheap product either. But in a house like this, you almost have to have some of that stuff. So we did put the money where we thought it made sense in this, but the material costs have just way exceeded our expectations and the labor costs. And then there's always the things that have got missed. So when you start this kind of a project, if you think 10% is a buffer that makes sense, I would double that, because we have been shocked by a few things and we're still getting surprises here and there. Stucco, for instance, we had a stucco quote done a year and a half ago, and the new quote that came in is probably 25% higher. And most of it's just because of labor rates. I mean, if you think about it, labor rates over the past 18 to 24 months have gone up dramatically. So those are things that we've learned, pass along for anybody watching this that might be thinking about doing this kind of a project. If you think you have enough money, you may not have enough money. So hopefully in the future, inflation settles down and then prices don't go crazy and maybe you won't have these kind of things. But we have been surprised on multiple fronts with this build. So anything you want to say?
I think that's it for today. We're glad that you're coming along with us on this project. Sometimes there'll be things that have happened and we're surprised. Sometimes things are delayed, but we'll take you along with us and you'll find out as we do pretty much on Sundays. So take care, have a good one. And those of you that are thinking about building a home, I think we're going to be as honest as we can. We're not going to give specific numbers, but I think Bill's been very fair in saying it's probably going to be about 25% more than what you expect. And we've tried to choose the areas very selectively where we can cut back, and areas where we think we're going to get the biggest bang for your buck. And I really think that that's one of the most important things that you should consider when you're budgeting. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.